Okay, we have just arrived in Chinatown, and this is Temple Street. And this is my largest mural in Chinatown, which is the Cantonese opera mural. I wanted to recreate those scenes of old Chinatown, those experiences that I have seen and experienced when I was a little boy, roaming all these streets in Chinatown. The street markets, the festivals, and Cantonese opera. Because all these operas were free of charge. They were staged on the streets like this. They use poles, wooden poles. They set up the tentage, and then they had all these operas free of charge for anyone, especially during the festival months of the 7th month and the 9th month. In fact, let me tell you that Cantonese opera backdrops, like this type of backdrops, inspired the style of my art. Because these backdrops were painted in a realistic style that looked like the real scene for the backdrops of the drama. Okay. Let me tell you the story of this show. This show is very typically Cantonese. It's called the Six Ministers, the 六国大风向, 六國大風向 in Cantonese. So the story is about the biggest collaboration in the Chinese history, one of the biggest collaboration in Chinese history, where 6 states, warring states, joined together, collaborated to fight against a very threatening state. But even though they collaborated, they lost the war. This was the minister who was the key to get all the 6 warring states to collaborate. So this is the costume of the general. You can see he was holding a horse whip. So this represented he was riding a horse. And this lady, she was carrying 2 flagpoles. The flagpoles represented the carriage. So this minister is trying to get onto the carriage. So in Cantonese opera, there are a lot of representations. So this lady is carrying a big umbrella, which also represented like an entourage. So this is another one of the ministers of the 6 warring states. Okay, here's Rojak. So actually I made a mistake because this is a Malay man, but he is selling Chinese Rojak. Okay, this little boy here, this little boy is me. That's my name. Yeah, you can see that he is actually trying to mimic one of the actors down there, right? He used paper, cut through, and make the beard, and use the ruler and newspaper to make the hat. And sitting on a real letterbox. Okay, now you can see the backstage. Okay, in the backstage, the people, the actor, actresses are preparing for the next scenes. That they're doing makeup, and a sick man is delivering tiffins for them, for the dinner. So I actually had to knock on the doors of many of these shop houses to look for the owners who will allow me to paint on their walls. It was a very hard journey because most of the house owners or the shop or business owners, they thought, you come here to buy things or you want to look for the house owner to allow me to paint on the wall? No, we are running a business here. So it was very hard. But I persevered. So through a lot of connections, I managed to find one house owner who would finally allow me to paint on one of the walls, which was actually at the other side of this area, Smith Street. The letter writer, that was my very first mural painted. And again, just like the Everton murals, it got very popular. So this pristine, many of house owners now realize, they like the style, they like the history, that these murals brought this whole area alive again. So they invited me to paint murals. So there are 6 murals in Chinatown. This is one of them. A few of them were commissioned murals, which later you will see. But this particular mural is not commissioned. Why? Because I actually collaborated to paint this mural for charity purposes. I painted this to raise funds for the community chest. So it's entirely free of charge. I even paid from my own pocket to rent the scissor lift and buy paints to paint these murals. And all money went to the community chest.
Thank you, Yip Yew Chong, for sharing about your murals today. And for more information about his works and other murals, you can check out his website, www.yipyc.com. So hope you enjoyed today's episode of Art Bites and hope you learned something today. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.